Well, folks, we finally have glam shots for some brand new pops from The Mandalorian Season 3 and Ahsoka Season 1. And guys, Funko came to play. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have some brand new Star Wars Funko Pops to talk about from Ahsoka Season 1 as well as The Mandalorian Season 3. And we're going to jump right into this first glam shot that comes courtesy of Dish Trackers over on Instagram. We have 6 brand new pops coming for Ahsoka Season 1. We are only a few short weeks out from the recent finale of the show. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. I don't want to get too much into what I thought of the show. Today, we're just specifically looking at the brand new pops. And we're going to start off with the biggest one, the one that we all predicted, we all had a feeling would be coming, and we do in fact have a brand new Grand Admiral Thrawn. And this might put a wrench in the community a little bit. So I'll just come out and say it. If you guys have the old Grand Admiral Thrawn, and if you're afraid that it's going to go down in value significantly, I would go ahead and sell it before this brand new common hits the market. But on the flip side, if you don't have a Grand Admiral Thrawn pop for your collection yet, this one is only going to be $15 likely. You could probably get it on discount from several places, so you'll be able to get a Grand Admiral Thrawn Funko Pop for your collection finally without having to shell out an arm and a leg. And also, I want to point out with the original Grand Admiral Thrawn pop, it's already come down quite a bit in value. The shared sticker is currently trending for $240, while the con sticker has come down to $620. So the Ahsoka series hype has officially worn off and the pops have come back down. And I'll be curious to see if Thrawn goes even lower now that we have this brand new Thrawn. Let's take a look at this brand new Thrawn pop. Overall, it looks okay. The biggest flaw that I see with this one is he's actually holding a blaster, and from what I can recall in the Ahsoka series, he was not holding a blaster at any point. He kind of looked more like his initial pose from the original Star Wars Celebration pop, where most of the times we saw him, he had both of his hands behind his back in the traditional Grand Admiral Thrawn pose. That's not to say that this pop is technically inaccurate, because if you guys remember from the Rebels animated show, he did in fact use a blaster several times. So this pop looks okay. I think it's great for a lot of people who weren't able to get a Thrawn, but not one that I'll be picking up. However, I will be picking up every single other pop from this wave. So let's start off with the Night Troopers. We are getting 2 versions of Thrawn's Night Troopers here, and I think they both look fantastic. Some people were saying that they were upset because no Captain Enoch yet. And I have a feeling that we will be getting Captain Enoch very soon. Some rumors going around the community actually are predicting that we'll be getting it this Friday as an Entertainment Earth exclusive. So be on the lookout for that. Captain Enoch could be coming very soon. If he doesn't show up on Friday, I think he would make an excellent future con exclusive. But getting back to the Night Troopers here, I think they both look fantastic. What I really liked about the Night Troopers in the show is that they were all a little different. They weren't your standard, all the clones looked the same, all the stormtroopers looked the same. Like, they all had different unique details to them, which I think actually adds a little bit of personality. So I really like that about them, and I'm really digging how we're getting 2 different versions of them in pop form. Really need that Captain Enoch to put in front of these 2 bad boys for my collection. Now let's get to the heavy hitters. Thank you, Funko. Thank you so much. We are officially getting a Baylan Skoll Funko Pop. And I think Baylan stole the show. His character had me on the edge of my seat every single time I saw him throughout the Ahsoka series. And it's truly a shame that the actor is no longer with us. But now we have this amazing pop to collect and have for our collections to remember his incredible appearance. Now we also have out-of-box glam shots of what the pop is most likely going to look like, courtesy of Funko Pop News via a nerdy dad. And overall, I think the Baylan Skoll pop looks pretty good. The only nitpicking detail I can look to see on here is that I wish his lightsaber was a little bit more towards the orange side. From what we can tell here, it's looks pretty much red. But other than that, I think it looks fantastic. I would love to see a hooded version of Baylan Skoll at some point. I think that would be a fantastic pop, once again, maybe as a future con exclusive. Now, getting back to the other ones here, we actually have a Shin Hati pop coming, which is absolutely amazing. Once again, we have another out-of-box glam shot looking at this one up close. I would really love to see a Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati 2-pack at some point. I think that would also be amazing. Would love to see her with the hood as well. Overall, I think this pop is incredible and a great representation of the character, especially for her very first Funko Pop. A little detail that I'm so happy they added was her little Padawan braid. I think overall it looks fantastic. Wish that her lightsaber once again was a little bit more towards the orange side, but other than that, these are both easily 9.5s out of 10 for me. And now let's take a look at the final pop coming for Wave 2 of the Ahsoka Season 1 pops, and that of course is Morgan Elsbeth. Now Morgan Elsbeth, in my opinion, overall in the show, she did a really good job. However, she was responsible for so much. I mean, she was really a catalyst throughout the entire season, and then right up at the end, she just fell short going up against Ahsoka Tano. But that fight scene was truly epic. And this pop overall looks a little bit boring considering how much her character did in the season. Nonetheless, it's her very first pop. It's one that I definitely need for my collection, and I would love to see a future Morgan Elsbeth with the blade of Talzin that the Night Sisters actually gave her at the end of the season. It would be an amazing glow-in-the-dark pop, especially if they were able to make, you know, a little green fire come off of the blade. That would be truly amazing. Another potential con exclusive that we could see down the road. Just some food for thought, Funko. So now we're gonna move into the new pops coming from The Mandalorian Season 3. And I am super hyped for all the ones we just talked about, for the most part, from Ahsoka. However, we got a little bit of a different story here with the Mandalorian pop. So let's break it down really quick. First pop that we're going to take a look at here is the Armorer. Now, we have gotten an Armorer pop before. We did get her with the Season 1 wave of pops. And this one just looks way too similar for me. So I'm not quite sure why Funko decided to make a newer version of the Armorer if they weren't going to make the mold or give her some sort of significant detail that was different. If you put these two pops side by side, you can't even really tell which one is Season 1 and which one is Season 3. Up next, we are getting another Grogu. Thank goodness, because we haven't gotten a Grogu pop in like 3 months, so I was definitely starting to get some withdrawal here. This looks like Grogu in the bucket. I'm not really sure why we need any more Grogu pops. Honestly, kudos to them for continuing to put them out and hoping that they sell. The next one that we have here is actually a deluxe pop, and this is Bo-Katan Kryze, and this is when she's in that throne-style chair that we actually saw quite a few times in the trailers, and then of course in in her castle when we actually visited her in the Season 3 there. This one's okay. It's not really one that I'm looking forward to grabbing for my collection. I think there's some other really cool Bo-Katan pops. This one just wasn't unique enough for me to warrant, having to go out and grab. So this is one that I definitely won't be picking up. Up next, we have The Mandalorian with the Darksaber. And I don't know if Funko saw The Mandalorian Season 3, but the Darksaber is unfortunately no longer with us. Plus, we've already gotten a few pops with Din Djarin holding the Darksaber, so I'm not sure why this one was warranted whatsoever. Another one that I'm kind of confused that we're getting is Paz Vizsla. Now, Paz Vizsla, he had a pretty big character arc in The Mandalorian Season 3. Unfortunately, he is more than likely not going to be in any more follow-on seasons of The Mandalorian or in Dave Filoni's movie or anything. This one is okay. I prefer the original Paz Vizsla, the heavy infantry Mandalorian, where he's got his signature weapon. I think that one looks fantastic. They also did another one of him with the knife. This one it looks kind of weird. It looks skinnier than he should be for his body. We just have glam shots to go off of, so they could look a little bit different once we get them in hand, but this is another one that I'm not super excited about. The last two pops in this wave, though, I am going to be picking up for my collection. The first one that we have here is the Mandalorian Judge with the orange and teal helmet. Definitely need this one. Very cool. I don't remember this character too much from the season, but I love all the different style Mandalorian helmets, so this one is definitely a must-have for my collection. And then the last one that we have here in the initial glam shot that we found out about is Peli Motto with Grogu, and she's actually holding Grogu, and you guys know, or if you don't know, anytime Grogu is being held by somebody, I think that one is just way more appropriate of a mold. I don't need any big Grogu pops, but I'll definitely take somebody holding Grogu, especially somebody as Pelimato here, because she actually did hold Grogu a few times in The Mandalorian Season 3, and I really, really like the way they did her. She really looks great. According to this glam shot, if this is how the pop is actually going to look, it actually resembles the actress very well. And the last pop that we actually have to talk about here is another questionable one. So super weird right now. Funko definitely dropped some fire with some of the Ahsoka pops and not really quite sure what's going on with the Mandalorian pops. But we do have another ride. You guys know I'm all about the rides. I love the Star Wars ships when they can bring them into Funko Pop ride form. We are getting another Mandalorian and his N1 Starfighter, but this time it's not with Grogu in the back. It's not an Amazon exclusive. He's actually Ubering around R5-D4. If you guys remember that white and red droid who was in The Mandalorian Season 3, he was also in the original trilogy, so pretty cool that we saw that character be brought into the newer Filoni-verse here. Although, I'm just not quite sure why a different character in the back of the ship was needed for a very similar pop. I actually just got mine in the mail from Amazon the other day. I'm going to be unboxing it in a future video, so if you guys want to see exactly how that pop looks, make sure to subscribe. But this is definitely one that I'm not going to be picking up for my collection. I would have loved to see a Din Djarin in the Razor Crest, even though the Razor Crest is no longer with us. I think that would have been a much more appropriate pop ride. But guys, let me know down in the comment section below, what do you think of the brand new Star Wars pops that are coming out? Are you excited for some? Are you excited for all of them? Will you be picking up Grand Admiral Thrawn for your collection? Overall, I am very happy that there is an opportunity for a lot of other collectors in the community to get Thrawn for their collections. I have the original shared sticker Thrawn, and I really don't care about the price. I'm happy to have that one in my collection. I'm sure that for the most part, the con sticker and the shared sticker of the Rebels version of Thrawn is generally always going to be relatively expensive. So I don't see either of those plummeting in price anytime soon. So I know there's some people in the community that are worried about that, but don't sweat over it too much. Although, I do have to say, if there's one Star Wars pop that I would love to see make happen, it's definitely this one. Come on. How cool would that be? It would be the most epic crossover between Star Wars and pop icons right now. But guys, that's going to do it for us right now. Make sure to subscribe for more Star Wars news and Star Wars Funko content. As a massive Star Wars fan, I'm pretty excited. And Funko overall is doing a very, very good job this year. For the most part. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Smash that like button on your way out. And as always, don't stop shooting until you score.